Hey, Damon here for Automotive Superstore. This is Pioneer's SPH-DA77DAB, and that means it's got digital radio, but it's also got CarPlay and Android Auto wired and wireless, some awesome tuning tools for great sound quality, and it's got something called Weblink, which is screen mirroring, only better. Let's check it out. Let's kick off though with what comes inside the box. Now, the chassis on this one's one of the new L-type chassis to help it fit in certain Mazda and Toyota vehicles. And that means that the bottom din is longer. It's not what we call a shallow mount, but it means the top half of the din behind the chassis here is all vacant. You can put your wiring there, for example. You also get a cage like this that comes included in the kit, and that helps it to be installed in certain older vehicles. There's your fascia surround for the front that you may need. A bunch of optional leads. Now, each of these you don't need to put in unless you really need to use this particular feature. This is the front, rear and subwoofer RCA pre-outs, as well as a rear monitor out and your rear camera input. 4 volts RMS for each of the RCA pre-outs. This is an audio auxiliary in. This is a steering wheel control wire and a second camera input, so there's 2 camera inputs for this particular unit. This is the extension for the USB. It's a single USB on this, 1.5 amps of charging. You will need your Bluetooth microphone, obviously, to make your calls, and your important DAB antenna for digital radio. Some fittings and screws, and a full owner's manual. And the first special feature I want to talk about that this unit has, and it's actually common across almost all of Pioneer's head units, is something called standard and network mode. Here's a default screen that you'll see when you fire the unit up for the first time, and you get to choose which mode you want to set the unit up into, and it has to do with controlling the speaker outputs, the crossovers, and then ultimately how the time correction works and how you will tune and make the sound quality improvements of your car down the line. Standard mode is full range speakers in the front, full range speakers in the rear, and then a subwoofer. Network mode though is separate tweeters in the front, separate mid-range drivers in the front running off separate channels, and then a subwoofer. Now, I use network mode in all the cars I build because you can get much greater sound quality from that. I love that Pioneer offer this feature in almost all of their units. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it. The second cool feature I like that this unit has, and it's shared amongst a host of other Pioneer head units, is something called Weblink. It is smartphone mirroring, just better than I've found elsewhere. Most of the other systems where you're just connecting via an HDMI or something like that, there tends to be an audio lag behind the video, which means you can see the picture, but the audio is coming out of sync, which means you really don't want to watch it. It's not enjoyable at all. And I can say that the Weblink system for video, the audio sync matches perfectly. So therefore, you'll be encouraged to use it, obviously, when you're parked and you've got the handbrake on. Now, the other thing Weblink does is it accesses the videos in your phone itself as well, and it also accesses the music inside your phone as well. There's a YouTube accessible app within Weblink you can go to, you can scroll through, you can search and watch videos on YouTube in sync. How good's that? Let's kick off in Android Auto mode, scrolling up and down to access our apps. We've got our navigation, access to our entertainment, and to communication. So here's Apple CarPlay. To access the apps, you just swipe left and right. Back to the main menu. Here on the side, we have a new side display from Pioneer. It's a shortcut to a lot of the commonly used functions. So you can do track forward and back, for example, while you're still on the main menu screen, while you're in Apple CarPlay. You can go here and just quickly change your EQ or jump into settings. Here in camera settings is where you control the 2 camera inputs. We've got illumination. There are 5 colors to choose from for the side key. The background can be changed. In audio and EQ settings, loudness we've got off, low, mid or high. Listening position, you can choose front left or front right. Balance is just left and right because at the moment we're still in that network mode setup. Time alignment, here is where you can delay the speakers in the system, and you can see here, because we're in network mode, it shows tweeters, mid-ranges and a subwoofer. If we were in standard mode, it would be front speakers, rear speakers and subwoofer. In the EQ, there are a few different ones to play around with. And then in custom, you have a 13-band graphic EQ. Here also you can turn the subwoofer on and off. And here is your level control. Now in crossover control, you've got this nice graphic screen. You can start with the channels that you want to adjust. This is the high pair of channels. Then you have the mid pair of channels low pass filter, the mid pair of channels high pass filter, and then the subwoofer low pass filter. You can adjust the filter slope and the filter frequency. Nice and easy on this screen, and a nice graphic adjustment of what you're doing. You can also turn the filter on and off, and you can vary the phase 180 degrees. So there you have it, Pioneer's SPH-DA77DAB, a fully featured unit with a whole bunch of great tuning tools and great features I'm sure you're going to love. If you want to grab one, there'll be a link down below. While you're down there, like and subscribe as always, and I will see you on the next one.